Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. My name is Harsh and I am going to launch a new course on every data professional's favorite and always in demand topic, and that is SQL. The name of the course is SQL Essentials, and in this course we will start learning from the very basic concepts in a very beginner friendly manner, and slowly we will move forward towards the advanced and complex topics of SQL by the end of this course. I have designed this course in such a way that even if you are not aware of the SQL at all, or you have just started learning the SQL, don't worry. By the end of this course, you will be easily able to understand any complex logic written in SQL, and also you will be able to write any complex code and able to convert any given requirement into the SQL code easily. If you are already watching this video, it means you have already made up your mind to learn SQL, and believe me, that is the best decision you have made towards a successful career in the world of information technology. In today's era of technology, knowing SQL is not just an add-on, but it's very much important for everyone to know it well. You might be a student who want to learn SQL for his or her personal project, or you might be already a working professional who wants to brush up their SQL skills or wanted to take a deep dive into the advanced SQL concept. So this course will cover everyone. So basically, if your profile revolves around the data in some or the other way, then SQL is very much important and mandatory for you to learn. So in short, learning SQL will benefit each of the profile which is related to data, such as you are maybe a tester or maybe a backend developer or maybe a data analyst, data engineer or data scientist. So learning SQL is very much important for you. That's why I have created this course, and for ease of tracking the topic and understanding what are the topics to be covered, I have created this beautiful and detailed roadmap of entire SQL journey. So let's get straight into the computer screen and let me walk you through the roadmap. This is the roadmap I was talking about. Since this is very big in size, so for ease of tracking, I have divided this entire roadmap into four categories. For each category, I will create a separate playlist. First one is SQL basic concept, second is SQL advanced concept, third is data warehousing concept, and fourth is interview preparation and hands-on. Let's talk each of the category in detail. The first one is SQL fundamental topics, which will include the basic introduction of SQL and a brief history of SQL. Then we will talk about the SQL terminologies like what is database, what is SQL, what is DBMS, etc. We will talk about the type of DBMS, what are the components of DBMS, what are the components of tables. Maybe you are already aware of these terminologies like rows, columns, tuples, entity, attributes, keys, etc. But I will walk you through each of the topics in details. Then what are the SQL data types? What are the SQL constraints, which you already called as keys? Then we will talk about how you can practice or how you can install the software and what are the free online tools available to practice the SQL. I will also provide you with the free SQL materials which you can use for your practice. We will talk about the online and cloud-based platform. We will also talk about the offline platforms which are available currently. So you can utilize any one of them according to your convenience. Then we will talk about the SQL statement types. Maybe you are already aware of DDL, DML, DQL, DCL, and TCL. We will talk each of the type in detail, and we'll also see how to write statements of each type. Then we will talk about the SQL alias and wildcard. We will talk about the SQL expressions, SQL operators, and SQL clauses. The SQL clauses are something very important because without using these, you cannot write any SQL. We will talk about the SQL basic functions, which are of two types, scalar functions and aggregate functions. We will see each of them in detail and what is the difference between these two type of functions. Then here comes the last topic of our first category, which is SQL joins and type of joins. So basically in day-to-day use, we mostly use inner joins and outer joins. But from the interview point of view, there are a lot of other types of join which is important and can be asked in the interview. So we will see each of them in detail. Then comes the second topic, which is advanced topics. Here we will cover window functions and what are the types of window functions, what is the difference between window function and aggregate functions. Everything we will see in detail. We will talk about the subqueries and common table expression and which one is better among these two and what is the difference we will see. Then we will talk about how to handle duplicates in SQL, how to use auto incrementing in SQL, date and time manipulation in SQL. We will see UDFs, which is user-defined functions in SQL. Then we will see what is the stored procedure and cursors in SQL, what are the SQL indexes, what are the data type conversions in SQL. We will see what are the important SQL operators, which is very important from interview point of view. Basically, here are the exist, intercept, except, minus, any, all, offset, and few others basic operators, which are mostly asked in the interview. So we will see each of them in detail. Then we will talk about what are the views in SQL, what are the types of views. We will talk about the JSON functions, the usability of JSON function in SQL, and we will see how to use a case statement in SQL, how to use loop concept in various database management systems, and we will see what are the order of execution of SQL classes. This is very important to know the basic understanding of how the SQL work internally. So whenever you write a complete SQL statement, so what are the clause which is going to execute first internally, and what are the result comes from that execution, the next class will run on top of that result set. Likewise, all the SQL statement will get executed and the final result set is displayed to the user. We will see how it works in detail. Then we will see what is the difference in row number, row ID, row rank, dense rank, what is the meaning of each term and where these are useful. We will see each of them. And then we will talk about some best practices while writing SQL and how to do performance tuning of any existing SQL queries. Here is the end of our section number 2. Now move on to the section number 3, which is data warehouse concept. Here we will talk about the basic of data warehousing, what is the definitions, features, what are the types, and what is fact and dimensions. We will talk about how to tune and normalize any data warehouse, and what is the normalization process and what are the normal forms. We'll see what is the cardinality and granularity. We'll see what are the slowly changing dimension, which is again very important from interview point of view. What are SCD type 1, type 2, and type 3, and what is the difference and when to use what. We will see each of them in detail. Then we will see how to implement SCD type 2 using the SQL. This is the most important and mostly asked interview questions, how to implement SAD type 2 using SQL. We will see practically by creating our own source and targets and then loading our target using the SAD type 2. We will see this by hands-on. Then the final topic of this entire course, which is interview questions and hands-on and demo. And if there are any topic left, I will cover in this section. And that's it for this video. See you in the next video.